Hello everyone, and welcome to my bold and beautiful official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Steffy and Finn uncover the awful truth regarding Luna's death. Will brought Elektra a smoothie, and he was definitely up to date about Dylan being behind the wheel of the car that killed Luna. They didn't think she would face any ramifications, as it was an accident and Luna rushed out into the street. But according to Elektra, Dylan is a decent man who would never harm anyone. Will concurred, absolutely gobsmacked that Luna was the person who took Luna's life. Elektra invited Dylan to the beach house, where she instantly felt uneasy returning to the site where she was taken hostage by Luna. Elektra asked for an update on how Dylan was processing everything after admitting to her about the accident. She promised them that Luna's death was an accident, and they vowed that they trusted her. The police offered to keep her involvement confidential, but she couldn't stay quiet. The night has dragged on her since Luna first crashed with her automobile on the misty road. Dylan had significant distress after being trapped in a closet by Luna. She was forced to listen to the screams and the bullets, all while powerless to do anything about it. She recalled the kindness Steffy and Finn given her, and she needed them to understand how things unfolded. Will and Elektra offered to go with her when she begged to talk to them so she could get rid of the weight on her shoulders. Steffy kissed Finn once their Thanksgiving supper was complete, and they basked in the glow of their newfound bliss. She felt like she could finally breathe with Luna out of the picture to haunt their lives. Steffy realized how the death of Finn's daughter could be dreadful for him, but she couldn't ignore the new degree of safety. She observed that he was in anguish, and she asked if he was still coping with Luna's loss. Steffy reminded her husband that he doesn't have to hide his grief regarding Luna's death. She understood if he felt otherwise, even if she was appreciative in her own way. Steffy reminded Finn that Luna was his daughter, and she died, and it's not something to just shake off. However, Finn stated that she was gone and that nothing could fix that. He called to identify the driver that took out Luna, but the police wouldn't provide any names. Steffy was swamped with messages concerning Forrester's link to Luna's death, and she was outraged that the company was affiliated at all. There was a knock at the door, and Finn welcomed Will and Elektra. Steffy was happy to see him, and Finn conveyed his condolences to Will over the death of his unborn child. They revealed they were there to fill in some of the gaps concerning what occurred on the night Luna was killed. Steffy was astonished to see Dylan walk through her door, but Finn filled her in about Luna's death, oblivious of what she was there to confess. Will emphasized that the driver wasn't anonymous, and Dylan jumped in headfirst with her speech. She pleaded with them, "I guarantee it wasn't on intention. However, it was me. I was the driver. It was me that struck Luna. I murdered your daughter. I'm sorry, Finn. I'm really sorry." Ridge informed Brooke that the outside PR group was on the Luna coverage. Brooke thought it weird to be working with someone else, as Katie normally handled those concerns. Ridge believed it was unnecessary, and that Katie deserved all the help she could get after what her family had lately undergone. He was certain that the best road forward for Katie was to focus on her family, and not worry about clearing up the mess left behind by Luna. He knew that Katie was the best marketer available, but she couldn't return until things with Luna died down. He swiftly shifted gears, presenting Brooke a new design inspired by her, and he thought the company would rebound beautifully. Brooke was happy that Ridge made his way back to her, and he agreed that they were better together than apart. At Bill's workplace, Katie joked about competing with Bill's laptop for his attention. He was dealing with a potential transaction that had stopped owing to public perception. There was anxiety about a much larger corporation, Spencer, gobbling up the lesser fish in the corporate sphere. Katie put her PR abilities to good use, and offered Bill with a list of potential methods to alter the story into a positive spin. Bill, thankful, was intrigued by Katie's ability to modify the perception. Bill told Katie, "I am telling you, your talents are being wasted at Forrester. Similar to our sons." He wanted her to use her skills differently, and tried to convince her to understand that they hadn't done anything to her. She stated that she doesn't always feel appreciated, and although she's too close to the problem to manage it all, she wished she had a voice in how to approach it. Forrester had previously engaged in a conversation without first consulting her. Katie worked for Brooke and Ridge, and sometimes it wore on her. Bill insisted that they begin to appreciate her before it's too late. Bill's desire to leave Forrester and join Spencer wasn't limited to Katie. He also desired Will's departure. Bill felt that joining his family's business was the best course of action, because neither of them was reaching their full potential. He informed her, "There is a place for you and Will at Spencer." Bill realized he needed to make adjustments in his life to become worthy of Katie, and she acknowledged the changes he made and appreciated his effort. He answered, "Your heart is secure with me. My only responsibility is to keep you and our family safe. We are Spencers." Deadly deja vu with Eric, Donna's news taking Brooke by surprise? The bold and the beautiful spoilers and updates hint there'll be a case of deadly deja vu this week on the CBS soap, when it comes to Eric Forrester. This week on the CBS drama, Brooke Logan will be blindsided by Donna Logan's announcement regarding to Eric's health. Bridget Forrester is their daughter, Rick Forrester is their son, and Brooke has always been close to Eric, who was her first Forrester husband. Everyone was blindsided by Eric's secrecy, a bit over a year ago over his potentially terminal heart problem once they found out. Fortunately, though, Bridget and John Finnegan were able to save his life with an experimental operation once the potentially fatal secret was revealed. Finn had identified the experimental method through his investigation into whether his grandfather-in-law could be rescued, and had obtained authorization to do it, with Bridget's assistance in the operating room. For almost a year, Eric has been doing wonderfully, and strong as ever. So when Donna brings awful news concerning Eric's health, Brooke is blindsided. The first question a surprised Brooke is likely to ask Donna is if his life-saving medical operation has gone reversed, or if something else has happened. Eric is nearly 90 years old, so it's not shocking at all that he would acquire some health difficulties. It's just part of aging. But considering that Brooke is stunned, it looks like the ailment the experimental operation had healed has popped up again, and Eric and the Forresters may well be back to square one. Considering the experimental nature of the treatment, there may be no records of what can be done should it finally fail, and Brooke is the only one Donna's told. The only worse news could be another terminal ailment, such as cancer, discovered too late to treat, which would be a terrible tragedy. It was almost too late for Eric the last time because of keeping secrets about his symptoms. He tried to handle them himself, without any medical treatment or advice. He had evidently done research and didn't think anyone would find anything different from Dr. M.D. Webb. Therefore, he didn't see any purpose to warn anyone or seek medical assistance. However, it makes sense that he would keep it a secret this time if his experimental technique was failing or if his heart was dying despite it. But Donna may have noticed, just like she did before, and has been pleading with Eric to seek medical assistance. However, she might question if Eric will listen to Brooke if he continues to be obstinate about his health. $1 bill has returned with a warning for the Forresters. $1. It's good to have Bill back in control of his life. Bill was riveted to his laptop while Katie visited him at the office. She joked that while she wasn't there to party, she would enjoy it if he focused less on his work. Bill expressed regret and explained that he had been preoccupied with something that had been simmering for some months. Even if everything is going great, he is still thinking about it. Katie talked about her work as well. She stated that she is okay with Forrester Creations hiring a crisis management team to deal with the Lisa Yamada matter because she is too close to it. However, she didn't like that they didn't consult her about it. She said it's not the first time that it's happened. It is related to the dynamics of families. While Katie likes her job most of the time, she would appreciate being recognized for her efforts. Katie needs to be valued and appreciated by the Forresters, Bill informed her. If they don't, they will regret it. He would like to have Katie and Will working at Spencer Publications with him. He doesn't think Will has been valued, despite obtaining a promotion in September. Bill pondered what Will's job even was. Does he assist Ridge in getting dress pins? Bill maintained that Katie and Will weren't valued at Forrester. He believed they would have greater worth at Spencer. He told her that there would always be a place for them there. Katie didn't precisely accept Bill's offer. She valued the boost in self-confidence. But she might contemplate it if the Forresters continued to exclude her from future movements. Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, seems to be backing with Ridge's decisions, especially with the Luna problem. For the proper reasons, the Forresters wish to keep as far away from Luna as they can. But they should have come to Katie about it first. Will might be persuaded to jump to Spencer Publications by Katie. She may inform him that he would have more opportunities there. She would also be able to put her skills to use, even if they weren't in fashion, which she adores. Dr. John Finnegan will accept that his daughter Luna Nozawa is actually dead next week on The Bold and the Beautiful. Dylan will insist her on making peace with her victim's father, while sources claim Hayes' art instructor will prompt a stunning change in the soap's dashing doctor. Here's what's coming up next week on Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers down below. Finn has always been a perfect husband to Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes would. He didn't think twice about cutting ties with his bio daughter for his wife. But meeting Luna's killer will stir something in Finn. According to teasers for Bold and the Beautiful, Dr. Finn will begin to see that his daughter was obviously mentally ill, and that he abandoned her in favor of Steffy. Finn's remorse will start to take a toll on him during the holidays, and soon Steffy's perfect husband could be unrecognizable. Finn has earned a breakdown on the CBS soap. There will be issues in the Shin marriage if Steffy suppresses her husband's grief and keeps ignoring his daughter's passing. According to B&B teasers, Finn's slide over his daughter's death will take a toll on the good doctor. Rumors imply that Luna Nozawa will be back, and Finn will get a second try at being a father to the serial murderer, and getting her the help and medication she needs. Of course, if that happens, he may kiss his wife goodbye. Do you think that Finn was wrong to turn his back on his troubled daughter? Will Luna return? Or is she truly dead? Dylan's Cliff House shocker. Katie plays Fix-It for Bill. The Bold and the Beautiful recap for reveals that Dylan delivered a Cliff House stunner as Katie Logan played Fix-It for Bill Spencer. Katie discovered that Bill at Spencer Publications was upset about a purchase that was receiving bad press. After Katie offered tips on how to turn things around, Bill was amazed and believed her abilities were being wasted at Forrester Creations. Bill felt the same way about Will Spencer, therefore he wanted both Katie and their kid at Spencer Publications. Katie wound up protesting since Forrester Creations hired an outside PR company to deal with the Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, mess without even contacting her. Although Katie still pretended to be happy at Forrester, Bill kept urging her to come back to Spencer as he considered it her family business. In the Forrester CEO office this episode, Brooke Logan Forrester gushed over a new sketch and gained praise from Rich Forrester for being his muse. John Finnegan and Steffy Forrester Finnegan spent some romantic moments at the Cliff House, just as Ridge and Brooke did. Sensing that Finn was still struggling to accept Luna's fate, Steffy reassured him that he didn't need to keep his emotions to himself. Finn later had a phone discussion with the police and told Steffy they still wouldn't name the driver who hit Luna. Dylan was a little uncomfortable returning to the beach house, but she reassured Will and Electra Forrester that everything was all right. Will had been brought in the loop on Dylan's driver situation, and given some encouraging words along with Electra. Although Dylan didn't plan to run over Luna, she was disturbed by the occurrence and wanted to confess to Finn as well as Steffy. Will and Electra decided to take Dylan to the Cliff House, so she could tell the truth about what had transpired. After arriving, Will and Electra entered first, then acknowledged that they had brought someone to answer inquiries. Dylan emerged immediately before Will stated that the driver was no longer anonymous. After Dylan argued it was an accident, she said she was the one driving and that she was extremely sorry since she killed Finn's daughter. Steffy and Finn were stunned by Dylan's confession as they stood there.